Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Life with MaryAnn and Joe and our continuation of our Christmas 2021 series. Today I'm going to be working on the mantle and the windows in the family room. And like always, I'm going to begin by putting up that board that I used to anchor my garland, and I put nails in there so that all my heavy decor won't fall down, and I'm showing you how I wired that piece of garland into the board. Now I have the cascading garland that I made a few years back. I took another piece of garland, then I cut up pieces up and I hung them vertically at varying lengths. If you buy one of these, you can buy one, they're really expensive. This is an economical, frugal way of making the same thing. All right, so next in are my little lanterns. How stinking cute are these? I made these last year. I found these wooden boxes in the dollar zone, and then what I did was I took some foam board and I cut the roof. You can see it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It has a few layers on it like this. And then I, painted it red. I put glitter on it, of course. I added this little bit of greenery, a pine cone. This thing is from the Dollar Tree. It's that, the twist tie kind of thing. A couple of berries, this little bow here, and leaf, and I glittered the whole thing up. And I had those lights there for a while, so I figured, let me make lanterns. So here I put these in. If you remember, I used them last year when I did the lodge living room. So I'm kind of moving that idea into the family room, because when it's in the former living room, we really don't get to see it as much because we spend our time here in the family room. So this was the next layer in these lantern Next, I'm going to incorporate some of these picks with berries and different kind of greenery to add some texture to the garland. I started on the ends over here. I added a piece here and then another pick here, and I did that on each side to kind of hide the wires that are coming down, because who wants to see those wires? They ruin the illusion of the fantasy. So that's why I put those there. I'm going to work my way around. I'm trying to figure it out based on what I have and what I'm going to need, and I don't want to overuse. Okay, so next I found 2 of these really fat picks here, and I'm going to put those at each end at the top to embellish. Okay, so you see I stuck it in at each end. It's a slightly different color, and it adds more texture to this piece, and it kind of just like makes the end, more like bam. Okay, so if you missed this last year, I found MaryAnn's grandfather's checkered coat, and I used it to decoupage these ornaments here. So again, it's in trend right now, but actually this is an old coat. I cut it apart, and so we can enjoy it at Christmas time and think of him. And I also used it on these birdhouse roofs too. So I'm going to add, I'm not going to add the birdhouses here. I'm going to use them somewhere else, but I'm going to add these ornaments into the garland now. All right, so I'm going to use the red and black check and red ribbon, and I start by making a center bow right there. I think it's about an 8-loop bow, if I'm not mistaken, that I made right there. And I anchored the center with that bow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use ribbon extending from that bow in an organic fashion to each end. I'm just showing you that I'm going to use some picks there as well. So you can see I have the bow in the center, and then the ribbon extending from the center out towards each end of the mantle. And it's symmetrical. One side mimics what the other side does. I'm going to switch over to the window right now. And I want to embellish the windows, and I'm going to use garland around the tops of the windows and about 3/4 of the way down. I'm not going to go all the way down to the floor this year. I want it to be a little bit less dense than I usually do. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do here is put some lights in, and I put in twinkling icicle lights because I wanted some movement up there. And once again, I started with a bow in the center, and then I added in some picks with different kinds of greenery and berries and more ribbon in that same organic fashion that I have on the mantle. Now I added garland across the rod, and I'm adding in berry branches there, and picks again there at the juncture, and a bow, smaller in scale but the same pattern as before, and I use that to cover up the juncture between the branches, the berry branches, and that pick that I have on the left hand side, because the best way to do that is always to put something on top of the juncture. You can either use a bow, or you can use an additional pick or something just to cover that, because it ruins the fantasy of the whole thing. All right, so you see here I have the bow in the center, and I have my lights. I have some icy picks in there, and I have a lot of red berry picks in there. Here's a pillow we picked up at Burlington, and we also picked up this check pillow at Burlington this year as well. And that other pillow somebody gave us, and I can't think of who it is right now, but it's a very, very, very nice pillow. Here down at the bottom of the fireplace, I simply put lanterns that I painted. They were black. I painted them white with red, and I put poinsettias behind them, and a couple of fir trees on each side. And as you can see, I put some picks on the top of the lanterns. There's some pine picks with some berries and some pine cones as well. And there is a look at the bottom of the fireplace and looking up towards the mantle. Okay, so enjoy the rest of it without me talking. I'll talk to you again at the end. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for stopping by. Hope everybody's doing well, and it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, so happy Thanksgiving, and I'll be seeing you again on Friday with another video. Take care.